I'm probably going to not rush through, but we're probably going to try 1 through 15 and see how you're doing. All right, and then we'll continue on from there. All right. Now, the fraction 3/5. The fraction 3/5. I just think you guys are smart enough to tell me what is that decimal. Now, listen to me. If you don't know that's 0.6, let's just refresh your memory. Does anybody need help with that? Me showing you why that's 0.6. Because 3/5 is the same as 6/10. You hear that or not? And then 6/10 is literally what that means, 0.6.
The bottom number has to be 2 digits?
No. Like, you have to think back seriously to like 4th grade when your teacher said, what's 0.3? What does that mean? That's right. That's what that means. So if I said to you 0.6, what does 0.6 mean? And what does 6/10 reduce to? So now you understand. I don't know what you're having trouble with. I'm not asking you about number 2. I'm asking you only about number 1. Only about number 1. That's the number we're doing. That's the problem we're doing. Number 1. All right, nothing else. Don't work ahead. I promise you. I'm going to take great care of you. Stay with me, though. Now, let's just say something happened to our brain and we forgot how or why that was. What does the fraction bar actually mean down here, guys? What's that fraction bar actually mean? Divide. So we're going to take 3 and we're going to divide it by 5. All right, that's what a fraction is, a division problem. All right, so when you're dividing this, that means 5 goes into 3. How many times does 5 go into 30? Tell me. 6. That's why it became 0.6. All right, is everybody with me on that? But of course, I don't want you doing the division. Your job is to be excellent at numbers. And so when somebody says to you, what is 3/5? I need everybody in here to be able to say confidently that that's 0.6. Right? Does that make sense now?
Yes.
Just like if I said 4/5. What is 4/5 as a decimal? 0.8. 1/5 would be what? 0.2. So that's the pattern. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. What?
Does it equal, like, if it's 4/5,
Well, yeah, but mathematicians don't like to do things just to write things. We don't like to write extra. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever wrote 0.60000, is that technically wrong? We just don't do that. Right? Yes, ma'am. Because it'd be 60 over 100, and then the zeros cross out. Just don't worry about the heading and let's do the problems. All right? When did you get here? We've done the heading a long time ago. Right? That's why I'm saying you guys chop, get to class. I'm ready to go. All right. Now I'm going to ask you about -3/20 is the next problem I want to talk about. We'll go back and do the other one. But I think everybody here should be able to say, obviously, -3/20 is what decimal? You're awesome. -0.15. Loud and proud, girl. Even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. -0.15. Wait a minute. Because, what did you do? That's exactly right. Multiplied by 5, and that created 15 over 100, which you back in the good old days of, I think, the beginning of 3rd and 4th grade, you did decimals. So you're supposed to know that that's 0.15. Is everybody happy with that? So the best way to do is to try to convert them to what? Convert them into tenths or hundredths. All right? Just like if I said, for example, 1/4. What decimal is that? Everybody should be able to just... 0.25, right? Because that's the same as 1/4. 1/4 is 25 cents. 3/4 is how much money? So you should know that also. All right, 1/2 is the same as 0.5. I know you know that. All right, so now there was a pattern with 1/9. Does anybody remember what 1/9 is from last year? What was that? What was it? No. Yay. I know what you're thinking. It's 0.1 repeating. Very good. Not many people know that. Not many adults know that, actually. 1/9 is 0.1 repeating. Right? Now, if you don't believe me, we can just go 9 into 1, right? And we'd see. All right, but that's something I want you to know. All right? So now if I ask you about 2/9, everybody should be able to say, well, that's obviously what? 0.2 repeating. Now we're getting a pattern. All right? Then 3/9 would be the same as 0.3 repeating, but 3/9 can reduce to what? 1/3. So 1/3 is the same as 0.3 repeating. So I'm just going to write these out because I want you to see. 4/9, everybody. Thank you. 5/9. And then 6/9. 7/9. 8/9. Oh, I forgot. What's 6/9 reduced to? All right, so when you see 2/3, right? So this is something that's really fascinating that later on you'll learn more about, but right now you just have to accept it as true. What is 0.9 repeating? What?
It's not 9.
What is 9/9? You're right. 9/9. And that to me was weird when my math teacher showed me that. Because 0.9 repeating, how can that be the same as 1? I can prove it to you, but we don't have the ability right now. Next year I'll prove it to you. All right? Or maybe even the year after that. When I have you in algebra, I'll show you how I know that's true. But again, I'm trying to teach you that math is about patterns. That's how we figure that out. Quickly. Uh-huh. No. No. Dividing by 9 is when you're getting the repeated numbers. Not only, but, right? So now I'm going to ask something wild and crazy. Somebody tell me this. If I said 23/99, what is that decimal? Yeah, you guys got the pattern, right? Good job, guys. I don't want you doing that on your calculator. And if you do it on your calculator, just you have your calculator out, do on your calculator 23 divided by 99 and tell me what it is. Because we're brilliant, that's why. Now, let me see how smart we are now, guys. Do this one. 403/999. What's that? 0.403 repeating. Now do that on the calculator just to verify. 403 divided by 999. Yeah, see how nice it is. Math is about patterns. That's what I'm trying to show you. Helping you with these patterns. What? All right, come on. I got lots to do. Pay attention. There's the other now. Man, what? Because I wanted either a 10 or a 100. Right? Because if I said to you, what's 7/10? What's that decimal? What decimal is that? Right. If I said, what's 9/10? If I said, what's 23/100? Shouldn't be a thought. Should be 0.23. What's 76/100? Yeah, there you go. Come on, I want you to ask me. Okay, I want you to ask me. What?
Who's 23
All right, those are just the patterns. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to jump back to question number 5. Somebody tell me what the answer is to number 5 now that we've taught you something. Tell me. Negative 0.6 repeating. Because, yes, 2/3 is how many ninths? 2/3 is how many ninths? 6 ninths, right? And we said 6/9 is 6 repeating. Everybody happy with that? Right? And again, all I'm saying for those of you guys who think you're confused, I just wrote that out, right? I told you that was true. Now, if you didn't believe me, we can actually do the division. Do you understand that, right? But you believe me, right? All right? Because if you do the division, you will see. That's why I had Olivia do the division for me so she could see that we were true on that. Does everybody agree with that? All right. So now what I want to do is I now have to do the ugly part. I have one more problem. What is negative 7 ninths? Tell me. Yes, negative 0.7 repeating. All right. Yes. We're getting to there. We're getting there. Now, why am I waiting till last? Because they're different. There isn't really a pattern to 5/16 and 5/8. I just have to do what? What do you think I have to do? I just have to what? I have to divide, which is kind of annoying. All right. So again, today I'm making sure that you demonstrate to me that you can do division. That's what we're doing. And once you demonstrate that we can do divisions, then I can let you use the what? I can let you use the calculator. But you have to show me that you can divide. Does everybody agree with this? All right. So here we go. The first one we're going to do is 5/16. So I'm going to come down here and say 5/16 is equal to, we're setting up the division problem. I don't know how many zeros I'm going to need, but I just put a bunch of zeros. Okay, so now you guys are pretty good. Decimal, 16 goes into 50 how many times? Say, 3 times, right? Because 16 times 3 is 48. Then we subtract and get what? 2. Bring down a what? 16 goes into 20 once. Subtract and get what? Bring down a 0. 16 goes into 40 twice. And then subtract and I get, bring down a 0. 16 goes into 80. How many? 5 times. Thank you for that information. Now, if you're sitting there going, man, how are they knowing 16 times 1, 2, 3, 4? You just have to do what with your math facts? Practice a little bit, right? Just have to practice. All right? Harrison, are you okay now? Okay, good, good. Everybody now who was asking me, does everybody understand that's kind of annoying, right? But you're demonstrating to me you can do the what today? Division, right? Yes, ma'am. Yep, you are exactly correct. So this would be 0.3125. You're writing what I'm writing down. That's what my advice is. All right, you're writing what I'm writing down. All right, I better see the division on your paper tomorrow. You haven't proven to me that you can do the division. Yeah. Right. But I still would kind of write it close to, but that's again, you guys are good. You just, if you're having trouble with the division, you would do what? You would tell me you're having trouble with the division. That's what I need from you guys. Right? And I understand it's been a long time since we've had to do this division. All right? So now let's practice. We got to do what? 5/8, right? So here we go. 5/8 is equal. 8 goes into 5.0000. So how many times does 8 go into 50? Good for you. What? If it can, yes, 9 or 10 or 100. Yes, exactly. Yeah, now you see, right? Because I expect you some fractions, like for example, if I said 3 out of 25. I think everybody in here should just say 3 out of 25. You should just know that's 0.12. You know that, right? Because 3 times 4 is 12. 12 over 100 is 0.12. Right? That's what I mean. You're always trying to convert it to tens, hundreds. You could even convert it to 1,000 if you wanted to. All right? So here we go. 8 goes into 50 how many times? 6 times 8. How many left over? Bring down 8 goes into 20. 2 times 8, subtract, bring down. 8 goes into 40. There you have it, guys. And we are done. 0.625. Everybody good? Now remember what I'm saying, guys. I don't ever want you to feel like you can't ask me a question. Right? It gets harder to ask the question the further we get down the page. Would you agree? Because it's getting what? It's getting a little bit harder every time. All right, that's what I'm saying. I need you to ask me a question. I'm reviewing your decimals. I'm reviewing your division. That's what we're doing today. I know everybody here can do that. All right, you just might need to review. Good. Yeah, you can divide them all, but it'd be really annoying. That's exactly correct. That's what I've been trying to say. Well, that's what I'm trying to make you better at. Right? Because here, listen, if you're going to be great at math, you have to understand numbers really well. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't want you every time to go 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do 3 divided by 10. You should just know 3 divided by 10 is what? 0.3. And if you don't know that, I can explain it better. You want me to explain why 3 divided by 10 is 0.3? Or are you good with that? I can explain now. You got to be... Yeah, that's what I want to hear from you. Always tell me that. All right, so I'll go back. All right, I'm going to put 0.625 up in my answer here. And then I want to refer back to the good old days of, seriously, and I don't mean any insults to anybody, but like 4th grade, you started doing decimals. They showed you what a decimal is. So your teacher said to you, for example, 0.5. And you really shouldn't say that as 0.5. You should say it as what? What number is that actually? 5 what? That's 5 what? Tenths. Did you hear yourself? That's 5 tenths. So what does 5 tenths mean? Come on. What does 5 tenths literally mean? 5 over 10. Shh. Just stop ignoring me or interrupting me. 5 over 10. You hear me on this now? And then what does 5 over 10 reduce to? 1/2. All right? Yeah, just fix the problem. You're never bothering me. Ever bothering me. Okay? Just everyone else can ignore it. That's going to happen sometimes. All right? Just ignore it. We're practicing. Now, are you with me on this now? Do you understand that 0.5 is the same as 5 over 10? You see what I'm saying? And then 5 tenths reduced to 1/2, right? So most kids don't know that 1/2 just by looking at as 0.5. So that's kind of hard to explain. It's not hard to explain if you do it in terms of tenths. 1/2 is the same as 5 over 10. Do you agree with that? Which means that it's 0.5. Same thing when I said to you, for example, 4 over 25. I just want you to know that's 0.16. How do I know that? Because if I multiply by 4, that makes it 16 out of 100. And 16 over 100 is what decimal? Say it again. 0.16. You with me on this? Right? Because that means 1600ths. And how do you write 1600ths? 0.16. Correct? You good on that? Now let's do one more just to make sure you're hearing me. Let's say I had like 11 out of 20. What is that decimal? There you go. That's all. That's it. Brilliant. You see what I'm saying? I definitely don't want to do what? 20 goes into 11. I don't feel like doing that. You with me? That's why I'm telling you it's super important to be good with numbers. You're good. You'll get it. Keep practicing. All right. Now, I'm on question number 7. So, 16 out of 20. Guys, help me. 16 out of 20. Everybody should be able to look at that and say 0.8. Because you could reduce that down to out of 10. Does everybody agree with that? So you could say 8 out of 10. Now, do I know that's 4 out of 5 also? But 4 out of 5 is not the way to make it to a decimal. So everybody understand now why that's 0.8. 0.8 is good, right? Yes, good. Yes, that's right. And there would be 80 over 100. Agreed? Either way. All right. Now here, these are where we had to compare. All right. So one way to compare is decimals. Another way is comparing the fractions. Personally, I think it's easier to compare fractions. So I'm going to show you that real quick. All right. So 0.89. Someone tell me what 0.89 as a fraction is. 89 over 100. And then 11 over 13. Now, does anybody remember how you compared fractions last year? What was the quickest way? Remember? Yes, you can do that. You can do that. But there's a quick way. Yes, you do. Very smart. So you multiply this, and that was 1100. So you put that on top, 1100. And now off to the side, we got to do 89 times 13, which is annoying. But everybody do 89 times 13. All right. Shh, no, do 89 times 13, like I just said. I'm okay with that. Well, I mean, I really am going to collect your homework. You know what I'm saying? So, I know you're good, but it's just better. I don't care if it's off the side. Someone's doing it on the back. I don't care. I know you're doing your work. What is it? 1157. Somebody said 1157. Is that true? Good. So now, do you remember you put 1157 up here? And so now you can see that 1157 is what? Yeah, so that's how we do that. Greater than this way. Remember that a little bit? Remember that? You could convert them to decimals if it was easier. Sometimes it might be easier to do the decimals. All right, so let's look at number 9. All right, now this one is where kids had trouble. All right, so what's 2 times 5? 10. All right, and 3 times 3. Right? So this would be our 10. Now keep in mind it's what though? Negative 10, right? And then 3 times 3 is what? Negative 9. So now negative 10 is what? Less than. Now I'm kind of going fast right now, so I don't want to stress you out. So somebody tell me now, if I'm going too fast, you can just say, hey, just slow down just a little bit. Is everybody getting that? Because that was an easy multiplication, so I figured you'd be fine with that. Everybody okay with that? But the other thing you had to remember now was what about the negatives? Right? You have to be careful, right? The bigger negative, the smaller. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, let's take a look at number 10. Ooh, now to me, this is the case where this one's just no work involved. Everybody should just say, obviously, negative 0.21 is less than 1/5. Because 1/5 is automatically positive, and 1 is what? Negative. So the positive has to be greater than the negative. Is everybody happy with that explanation? Everybody good on that explanation? All right, so let's check out number 11. Cross multiply, the top is what? The first fraction would be 55. The second fraction would be 54. So it is greater than. Thank you. I kind of like that. That wasn't that hard. Did I agree? Very good. All right, number 12. I would probably like to reduce this fraction. What does that reduce to? Negative 3/5. I'm proud of some of you guys for remembering that. That's negative 3/5. Ah, and now what's negative 3/5 as a decimal? No. Thank you. Negative 0.6. So now I'm comparing negative 0.6 to negative 0.61. So what's true? Be careful. What is it?
Negative 0.64.
Yes, more. That is exactly correct. 6.1 is more negative. Does everybody agree with that? Come on now, you got to understand my words. 0.61 is more negative. So that makes it less. Is that a good explanation on that? You understand that? Everybody's good, right? All right, I feel good about this now, finally. Okay, so now what do we got here? The first fraction will be, Michaela, go. And then, so what sign do I put down? That's a greater than sign. Yeah. You see, that's why I try to teach kids. The alligator stuff is no good anymore. You have to be able to tell me what the sign is. All right, I knew exactly what you meant, of course. But again, that's 3/4 is being compared to 7/9. Everybody happy with that? I'm good. All right, let's do, okay. So now 7/50ths compared to 3/20ths. I think this one's kind of easy, right? Which one's bigger? Which one's bigger? Ooh, what?
3 over 20.
Exactly.
5 times 20 is 115.
Yeah.
And then 2 times 7 is 14.
Yes, yes. See what he's doing? He's making them out of 100, right? So that's exactly what I was hoping you would do. There's lots of techniques here, and this would be 15 out of 100. Does everybody see that? There's several techniques. You can always cross multiply if you want, but to me it was easier just to make it out of 100. All right, hopefully you're with me. All right. So now, on which test did he have the better score? So let's do 34 out of 40 compared to 26 out of 30. So I want somebody in here to multiply 34 times 30, and then I want someone else to multiply 40 times 26. Thank you. Tell me, good for you. What's 34 times 30?
1,020.
I think you're right, man. That's very nice. Very good. Did anybody agree with 1020? I like that. What's 40 times 26? Somebody help me. No, 40 times 26. 40 times 26. Yeah, you're right. 104, and then add the 0. You did it right.
Well, because I did 25 times 4 and add the, I did that 6.
Yeah, that's good. Exactly correct. Hey, listen to me. Listen, that's what I'm trying to teach you. You with me? So you did perfect. That's exactly right. Does everybody hear what she did? She did 25 times 4, that's 100, and then you needed 26, so it's just 104. And then add the 0. Yes, that's exactly what we want. So now 1020 is what? Less than. So that's a less than sign. I'm pretty happy with you guys tonight. All right, everybody good? All right. So here, let's flip the page. So here is what I want to show you. These two, 28 and 29, are calculator problems. All right. It says round to the nearest thousandth, too. So who's got a calculator? All right. I need someone to tell me what 106 divided by 120. And I need everybody to do it if you have a calculator. Does everybody see I don't feel like doing that long division, right? So what did you get? I want all the decimals. 106 divided by 120 is what? Lots of pressure.
0.883.
Then it's just a bunch of 3's, right? So if I round that to the nearest 1,000, mm-hmm. I like that. I know what you mean. 0.883. You're good. Now look, I can't help you with that, right? I said use a calculator. If you don't have your calculator yet, tell your mom we're going to be using a calculator pretty soon, right? But you can also use your calculator on your what? On your iPad. All right, that's fine with me. Yes, ma'am. This, I'm sorry, that was question number 28. All right, and you can also use your calculator on 29. All right, and then what I want to do here is, man, I got to get my, I'm about to die.
Oh.
1%.
It's a 0%, but it's so.
Uh,
It's a college.
no, it's not. Oh. was close. All right, that was close. Savior. All right, we saved. We're good. Okay, so now, what I want to do now is I want to show you what numbers you can cross out. Listen, tonight you don't have to do 41 through 47.
You're amazing.
Shh. I know, 41 through 47. All right, you don't have to do those. Now, what I want to do is I just want to continue working with you on some of these. All right, I want to work with the ones that you should know. I want to work with you on the ones that you should know. All right, so everybody look at 16. All right, we will do 3/8 so much that you will know what the answer is. Did we already do 3/8 though, didn't we? Did we do 3/8? Division?
No.
So divide real quick. By hand, 3 divided by 8. Did you get it already? You're awesome. 15 more seconds. Everybody's supposed to be dividing. Oh, yeah, you want me to write down the answer. I know what you're doing. What is it? 0.375. You are brilliant. 0.375. And I'm just telling you guys, it's just division. All right, just division. Now, I think everybody should be able to tell me what 7 over 20 is. 7 over 20 is the same as, how much? 0.35. Now, as your hand goes up and say, man, how are you doing that so fast? Everybody knows how to do that, right? So I got a 0.35. All right, this is something else you should know. 8 over 25 is the same as negative 0.32. Some of you guys are really fast. Good job. Now, like I said, if you're not sure, you got to speak up. If you're not sure, you got to speak up. I want you to be great at numbers. Anybody? All right. I don't like 3 over 6. Did we do 3 over 16 already?
5 over 16.
Oh, darn it. 5 over 16. That's bad. Okay, 4/5. We should know 4/5. What's 4/5? Yes, 0.8. We should do 9 over 25. Wow, good job, buddy. 0.36.
Good job.
All right, hold on a minute. And then, we know 2/9. What's 2/9? Negative 0.2 repeating. And then let's do, what could I do to 25 to make it easier?
Oh.
What could I do? What do I do? What could I do for that? Oh, no. 25. What do I notice here? That's okay. I know you thought it was 25. But you can reduce the fraction. Reducing the fraction always helps. So this is the same as 11 over what? 15. And now it's just easier to do the division. Yes, sir. Yeah, but how does that make it easier? Now, reduce it. Reducing a fraction makes it easier. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm going to do one more division problem with you. 11 or 5 11ths. Let's everybody do 5 11ths real quick. All right, and I mean it, guys. I want everybody doing it. 11 goes into 5.000. Somebody already get it? I think so, maybe. I like the confidence. All right, so let me move this out of the way, and then I think so, maybe, can give me the answer. Tell me. Oh. Uh-oh. Somebody, check her. She said 0.45. Is the whole thing repeating?
Yeah.
Is it 0.45 repeating? Wow, see? There you go, I like it. Oh, look how brilliant she is. Look at this brilliance right here, guys. Listen, yes, brilliant. Look at what she just did. She said just multiply by 9. I'm super proud of you. And then it's what? 45 over 99, which is, we already talked about, 0.45 repeating, and then she corrected me there. Don't forget the negative.
Bro,
that's really good.
That's
really smart.
IQ.
That's good, yes. To which one?
Oh.
Yeah. So just like look at 24. Everybody should be looking at 24 now. And tell me that's what now? Everybody should be able to look at that and tell me the answer. What?
Wait, no, it's 0.27.
That's what I thought you said. 0.27 repeated.
That's
Very, very good.
that.
guys.
Can I write that like a note? 25. Would that mean the end of the
No, you have to divide 15 into 11. That's a little bit annoying. Do you agree with that? Okay, guys, so here's what your job is. Listen, I definitely need you to do all of these down here. So put at the top of your paper. I'm changing the assignment is what I'm doing. All right? So this all has to be worked out. 16 through 29, comma, and then I want, you can put on the top 31 through 37 odds. And then 38 through 40. That gives you a little break. Okay? But make sure you get it done. Make sure you get it done. Yes?
I have a question. You just developed the 16 well, this was 16.
Yeah, we did all of it.
Mine are kind of all over the place.
That's kind of all right. That's okay. I don't ever mind about that. I don't ever mind about that. I know you're working. What?
On 31 and 37, can you just like,
Right.
16 to 29, can you just put the answer?
16. You have to do the division, though, unless you know the shortcut. You hear me? Right, like I need you to just practice your division.
16 not 51.
No, I just changed it. This is what you're doing. This is what you're going to turn into me tomorrow.
That's all? That's all?
Would you? No, for everyone else, this is what you're doing. You got 1 through 51. All right. That's a very good job today, guys. Very good job. Very, very good. All right. And thanks for warning me about my computer about to shut down. You were hoping it did shut down, didn't you?
So 16